The top stories. Tributes are paid to Pastor Holmes Williams, who has died at the age of 75. Christmas barrel traffic is down at the port, and another tough day at the wicket for the hapless Windies. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, December the 19th, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
Pentecostalists and other Christians are mourning the death of Pastor Holmes Williams, the founder of the People's Cathedral. He has died at the age of 75. He had been ailing in hospital for some time. Bishop Jerry Seal, head of the local district of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, said the passing of Reverend Williams marked the end of an era. He said the pastor and a longtime radio evangelist touched the lives of millions through his preaching, his Christ in the Answer broadcasts, books, and most recently, the internet. Fewer barrels and packages have come through the Bridgetown port ahead of the busy Christmas season. Shed manager at the Bridgetown port, Vincent Jones, told Nation News that between October and November, just more than 10,000 packages and barrels were processed, compared with in excess of 11,000 last year. He also said there was a modest decrease in the number of packages cleared in December so far. Port authorities are, however, reporting an improvement in the processing of barrels with the introduction of a new tracking system, extending hours and additional staff. Mr. Jones said there was only one hitch last week when the custom system was down for a few days. And talking of Christmas gifts and spending and the like, it is a season to be jolly, but also want to be very careful. You may have read in the Weekend Nation of the terrible story of Christmas hampers being stolen from a church in Devils Road. So, be careful not only with your money and belongings, but on the road this Christmas season and beyond. A team from the Royal Barbados Police Force visited our studio to send a message to the public, asking them to stay safe and avoid accidents this holiday season.
So we are appealing to persons, who would be partying, both at home and at work, to be vigilant. We want to ask hostesses of parties, if they invite persons to parties, to monitor their drinking, make sure that they're not drinking drinks too fast, or they're not having too many strong drinks. Have plenty of food there, so persons can eat along with the drinking, so that the absorption time into their bloodstreams, would take a little longer. Have soft drinks. Make sure that they have a designated driver, to get them home afterwards. If there's none, you can let them rest. If you have enough space, you can let them rest, or pay a taxi for them. You can be reimbursed or whatever. But we want people to look at, if you're going out and you intend to drink, make alternative arrangements for yourself, to get home safely. We also want to look at the driver fatigue. We want persons to be aware, that your body needs a minimum of 8 hours of rest every day. And if you're not getting that, if you're cutting it by 1 or 2 hours per day, maybe even 3 hours, your body is going to go into deficit, and it's going to call on you to get the rest, you require the rest that it needs. And most of the times it comes on you, when you least expect, or when you don't want it to come, that's when you're behind the wheel.
The Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations has welcomed the announcement that the United States and Cuba plan to re-establish diplomatic ties after a 50-year lapse. President of CITUSAB, Cedric Morrell, said the Congress was also looking forward to the lifting of the draconian embargo, trade embargo as he called it, against the Cuban people. Speaking at a news conference to send Christmas and New Year greetings to Barbadians, Mr. Morrell said CITUSAB has a relationship with some of the trade unions in Cuba, and 3 local delegates had visited the island, while 1 Cuban trade union leader was recently in Barbados. Pedestrians and motorists traveling along Pine Plantation Road in the early morning were surprised to see a deep hole in the road. Several concerned citizens took pictures and videos of the hole, believing it to be some form of a cave-in. However, by 10 o'clock, a team from the Barbados Water Authority was on the scene repairing what they describe as a blown joint on a 15-inch main. It was a joyous occasion for the children and staff of the children's wards of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital when Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave and Lady Belgrave paid a visit on Thursday. The sounds of Christmas carols filled the air from the performance St. Leonard's Boys Choir and the Hinesbury Primary School. The children were showered with attention and gifts, and despite their illnesses, most of them seemed in very good spirits. Sport now. On another humiliating day for West Indies cricket, fast bowlers Vernon Philander and Morne Morkel shared 9 wickets to leave the Caribbean boys fighting for survival against South Africa in the first test at Centurion. Philander recorded figures of 4 for 29 while Morkel took 3 for 55 as the West Indies were bowled out for 201 in their first innings. Forced to follow on, they reached 76 for 2 in their second innings, still trailing South Africa by 275 runs as they go into the 4th day on Saturday. And finally, a woman in Arizona in the United States says her faith in the airline industry was restored when her lost luggage was returned to her after 20 years. Mario Delos, the owner of an art shop, said she received a call Tuesday from the Transportation Security Administration's Lost and Found Department saying a bag filled with art supplies was discovered at Tucson International Airport, and a note found inside the bag identified her as the owner. Ms. Delos said the bag, which contained about $1,200 worth of very valuable art stuff, was lost in transit 20 years ago when she returned home from a trade show in Las Vegas. An airline spokesman said officials are not sure how the bag ended up lost for 20 years. That's where we end Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And get your Saturday Sun from newsstands or via our e-paper. And enjoy your weekend.